13th of December, Rabbi Furst, Mishna Berura.
Okay. Good morning again. This is Rabbi Shlomo Furst at Shivat Samanavshi in Yerushalayim to resume our second shir this morning. Mishna Berura will learn Hilchos Hanukah. Siman Taf Reish Ayin Aleph. Okay. And we were in the middle of, if I'm not mistaken, Sif.
I think we got up to Sif Vav, no?
Yeah, I think we were just there, right? Just getting to Sif Vav, correct. Right. We did the Bir Halachas and Sif Hay.
Right.
And yeah, we're going to see the Bir Halacha mentioned to see Taf Reish Ayin Ches. We'll get to that in time spent here in Hilchos Hanukah. Yeah, okay, good. Sif Vav. Let's start over here. This is a halacha which is going to be discussed if a person's lighting by the doorway. How do you situate the menorah in the doorway?
Oh, okay. Okay, so it says Manicho me'asarat fach. No, hold on. I'm sorry, I missed the line. Manicho lemala mishlosha tfachim, umitzvah lahanicho lemata me'asara tfachim. Okay, so it's one place is the light higher than 3 tfachim, and the mitzvah is to place it under, I guess, lemata 10 tfachim.
Right, so the menorah is placed above 10 tfachim from the ground, and the mitzvah is to place it below 10 tfachim. So it has to be between 3 and 10 tfachim. That's where the menorah should be placed. If you're doing it, again, this is on the outside. If it's going to be in the house, that might differ.
Oh,
Certainly
that's interesting.
Certainly it's going to be placed on the table.
Yeah, but even in the house, don't we put it by the window so that the Persume Nisa?
Right. No, that depends. When there was, as we learned in Sif Hay, there was a Shasta Sakana. It was dangerous, so we were told we should put the menorah on the candle and the candles of the menorah on the table, because
Right.
we didn't want it to be known that we were lighting.
Oh, right.
Right. So we didn't want it by the window. In the time when you can light, there's no sakana in lighting. So if that's the place where you're going to get the most Persumi Nisa, then you light by the window. Meaning the general rule in where you're supposed to light the menorah is where you're going to have the most Persumi Nisa. Meaning you want to publicize the miracles that Hashem did for us at the time of Hanukkah. So therefore, if it's going to be done the way possible, just like a person wants to sell a product, right? So he's looking for a billboard to put up his advertisements for his product. So he's going to look for the most frequented place where he could put up a billboard, so you can get the most traffic and the people will see have the most exposure. So likewise, we want the menorah to have the most exposure. So it all depends. That's the main rule in where you're supposed to place the menorah, depending on where it's going to get the most exposure, and therefore fulfill the mitzvah for Persumi Nisa in the best possible way.
Okay. Goes on. It says Ve'im hinicho lemala me'asarat tfachim yatsa. But if he puts it above 10 tefachim, he's still yotze. He still fulfills his mitzvah. Okay. Aval im menicho lemala me'esrim ama lo yatsa. But if he places it above 10 amot,
20, Esrim.
Oh, Esrim, sorry, Esrim. Oh, wow, that's really high. Lo Yatsa, he's not Yotzi. So, I always wondered because I think what you said it's okay. We used to sometimes travel to Long Island to visit the relatives on Hanukah,
Right.
and some of these real tall apartment buildings, you'd see menorot in a lot of the windows.
Right.
In all this, it's almost like the building was lit up. So
Right. Very nice. Yeah. We'll talk about how that's possible because you have other people living on the same levels as well. So
oh,
it's like,
that's true. Yeah.
You see that here also. And in Ramada School, there's lots of high rises. And,
Right.
and there's menorahs all over the place, very high, way above 20, almost.
right. So since there are other people living on the same level, then it all makes it as if it's ground level.
Okay, so let's see. Was that? Oh, there's a Haggah. Okay, the Haggah says Vafilu l'kacha kach daluch v'chanicha lemata me'esrim lo yatsa dehad laka osa mitzvah. Okay, so and even what if he takes it? I guess the or takes
Right.
it.
Right.
Uh,
He takes it when it's lit.
takes it when it's lit.
Yeah, the Ramah is going on this case when it was lit in a place that was Esrim Amas high or more. Well, now he's going to take it while it's lit and move it down below.
Oh, okay. So he takes it while it is lit. Lamata Me'esrim. Okay. Lo Yatsa. So even if he lowers it, he's not Yotze?
Right, because why?
Oh, because he benched on it above, he said the blessing when it was above 20.
Right, Hadlacha Osa Mitzvah. The mitzvah is at the time of lighting, right? There's a condition that what you're lighting has to last a certain amount of time, and the mitzvah continues on through that time, but the mitzvah that you're doing is the actual lighting. So here, when he lit above 20 amas, he lit in a place which was puzzle, invalid for lighting the menorah.
Okay, so then it says the hadlaka osa or oseh mitzvah. So what, he has to relight to do the mitzvah?
Yeah, I guess we'll see. We'll see that in the I think because he's not Yotzi. Maybe his brachas are levatala also.
Oh, that's interesting.
We'll see in we'll see in the Mr. Brewer. What aspect of that is interesting to you, man?
No, that it has to be done over. It's just thinking like even with tefillin, what happens if you accidentally? Well, with tefillin, it might be a little different. I was thinking, what happens if you accidentally wrap it 8 times around your hand instead of 7? But I don't think that matters with tefillin.
That's a custom. The custom is to do 7 times, so that's not really. But let's say he put on his tefillin. He was in the clouds and he didn't realize he put his tefillin on while he was wearing his shirt sleeve, right?
Right. Oh.
Right.
Yeah.
It has to be al yadecha, on your hand, on your arm.
Oh.
So I'm guessing now, but I would imagine also in that case he's not Yotze and he's probably bracha b'latala and have to do it again with the new fresh bracha.
Uh-huh. I would agree. It sounds to me like that makes sense. Okay, so we're going, you said, to the Bear Halacha now?
No, let's see, let's see first the Mr. Brewer's here.
Oh, the Mishnah Berura, what he has to say. Okay, so Vav, that's
Well,
in parentheses, Kaf Vav. Okay. Lamala Mishloshat Tfachim. So it has to be higher than 3 Tfachim, which a tefach's about 3 inches, I think.
the tefach is usually about this, about a closed fist. About that.
Yeah, okay, so that could be 3 and maybe slightly more.
4 inches, maybe more 4 inches.
Okay.
You can find out exactly. I have a chart, but that's in yeshiva right now.
Okay. Okay, so it says Dechol Lamata Mishlosha Ki'ilu Hiniach Bekarka Ve'eni Kar Shebaal Habayit Hinicho Sham Mikol Makom B'diavad Yatsa. So it says Dechol Lamata. So if it's at all below 3 tefachim, it's
Right.
as if he placed it on the ground, it looks like.
Right, meaning you're really supposed to have it above 3 tefachim. But let's say for some reason he didn't do it. Halacha or whatever, he put it on the ground and he lit there. Would he be yotzi?
Oh. Okay. So, but it's the Eini Kar Bal Habayit, and the Baal Habayit doesn't recognize it. We can't see it.
Right, it's not recognizable that the balabayas left it there, since it's
Oh, that he left it
on the
there.
ground. It's not apparent that the person who owns the house left it there.
Okay.
Or placed it there.
Or placed it there. Okay, I mean, Kol Makom B'diavad, that's but nonetheless, he's Yotze, it looks like.
After the fact, meaning once it's been done, it'll still be Yotzi B'diavad. Mr. Brewer doesn't say whether he should pick it up and move it to a proper place. That he didn't mention. Don't know. Logically, you should pick it up and move it to a higher place.
One would think, but then based on the Mishnah above, if you already lit it, you might have to relight it then. If it was below 3 tefachim when he lit it.
Right. The question is, should he do another hadlaka, or is it enough just to move it? Right. We learned the Ramah said, hadlaka also mitzvah. So the mitzvah was done b'diavad below 3 tefachim. He's certainly not going to make a bracha because it's b'diavad, he's yotzi. But apparently he should out and then relight at a higher level. That's not discussed.
Okay. Kaf Zayin, Lamata me'asarat tefachim. So it should be below asara, 10 tefachim.
Right. Meaning the optimal place to put the menorah is between 3 and 10 tefachim above the ground.
Okay. So the Ika Pirsum Hanes Tefei Kishahu Lamata. Okay, so it's better for the to publicize the miracle that it should be lower.
Right.
Okay. The davar asoi leor ein derech lahanicha kol kach lemata. So that this thing should be made so that the light, ein derech, is not placed below that, I guess.
Right, because again we want the fact that this menorah is being lit for the sake of presuming Nisa, to publicize the miracles Hashem did for us at the time of Hanukah. So that's best accomplished. That's best accomplished when you place the menorah in a place that it's apparent that this is a special menorah being lit for something which is not for the sake of light. If it was being used for light, for illumination, so usually you want to have the menorah, the light source, up higher, because it will project more light over a greater area, right? But here you want to keep it down low so that it'll be apparent that this is a menorah, a light source, which has been put special to fulfill the mitzvah of presuming Nisa.
Okay, v'ayin Belia Rabba Shekatav Dehad De'ein Haolam Nizharim Bazeh. Okay, so and look at Eliyahu Rabbah who wrote that what people are not careful about this.
Right, like the general public is not careful about this. They keep it below 10.
Okay, Mishum Desomchin al Amordechi. שכתוב דעכשיו שהורגלו להניח בפנים זה. Let's see. So Mishum, because there's support from this by the Mordechai who wrote. The
reason why the general public doesn't seem to be careful about placing the menorah lower than 10 tvachim, because they rely on the opinion of the Mordechai. They rely on the opinion of the Mordechai that wrote, Akshav Hurgu Nich Bifnim. So nowadays, we're accustomed to place the menorah inside the house. Ain't competitive is it? There's no necessity to be strict about putting it between 10.
Ah, okay. Achein hatur stam bazeh. But the tour stam.
Sassam bazeh, I mean, he was speaking. He was referring generally. He only was for generally, not making a difference between what we do on our time and what existed previous times.
Oh, okay. Umashma desvira le de'ein lahalek bazeh. Excuse me. Okay, so let's see. I just lost it. Umashma, we learned in this opinion that we don't change it, I guess.
Right, not to change. You should really do it below 10.
Okay. V'chein nohagim kol hamak k'dikim Moshe katuv b'veit Yosef. And therefore we nohagim. It's our minhag that we're all strict about what's written in the Beit Yosef.
Right, and so are those accustomed to do, those who are scrupulous in what was written by the Beis Yosef, as was written in the Beis Yosef.
Okay. Here. Oh, this is our apartment building, it looks like. Ve'im dar ba'aliyah. And what if one lives above, higher up? Manicho bechalon shehu litzad reshut harabim. Okay, so we should place it in the window that faces the public thoroughfare.
Very good, right?
Okay. Afilu im hachalon gavo hayoter me'asarat tfachim mikarka'it haliyah. Okay, so even if the window is higher than the 10 tfachim from the ground height, I guess.
Right, very good.
Oh, so all those people in Long Island are okay then.
Yep, they're doing very good.
Okay, that's good to know. I just remember that as relatives, and you'd see that all over the place.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was out by, you would take the Belt Parkway.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. They lived in Queens, so that's what we did. Okay. Ve'im yesh lo shtei chalonot, echad lemala me'asara tfachim ve'echad lemata me'asara tfachim. Okay, so now we have a situation where if one has two windows, one is higher than 10 tfachim, and one is lower than 10 tfachim. Badai yanichena v'chalon shehu lemata ma'asara tfachim. Certainly one would place it in the window that is below 10 tfachim.
Right.
Uveneirot b'veit knesset haminhag she'amenorah makom gavoha. And menorahs that are in the shul, it's a tradition that the menorah is in a higher place.
Right.
I guess that's so everyone can see it in the shul.
I would say so. Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Okay. Very good. So let's see. Kafchet. Lemala me'asara ama. That it's higher than 10 amot. Delo shalta be eine be nafkamina im madlik mibachutz uve'ein im madlik babayit. Quite. This is something about lighting it outside.
Right. That if it's going to be more than 20 amas, that's very high. 20 amas is an amma is about 2.5 to 3 feet. So that's like, say, 50, 60 feet.
Oh, wow.
If it's going to be more than 50, 60 feet, that's not going to, he's not going to be Yotzi. And the reason is the low sholat be'ena, people don't usually look up higher than that.
Uh-huh.
Well, it could be. I mean, it's not going to change the halacha, but the reason is because also you see with a sukkah that's higher than esrim amma, you're not yotzi with the skach of a sukkah that's more than esrim amma for the same reason that the eye is not concerned with something so high. You don't normally look that high. That I would say that was definitely so in the time when everything was down low, but we live. We just walk around. There are all kinds of different things that are very high these days. We're always
right,
but that it's not going to change the halacha. But that's just that since they didn't have any reason to look up high unless they wanted to look at the stars, the moon, the clouds, and the sun, right, or a bird flying. They had no reason to look up the heavens, so they wouldn't. But we have a lot of other interesting things that might attract our attention or distract our attention that are higher up. But again, since that was the way it was, it's not going to change the halacha.
right.
And
Okay.
it's going to be lit above Esrei Rama, and no one's going to really pay attention to it, so you're not Yotzi.
Uh-huh.
No difference if it's going to be lit, the menorah, outside, or it's going to be lit inside. And even if you'd have I was in a base medrash yesterday. I was visiting someone in Austin, Mass. So they redid the base medrash there recently, last couple of years, and now it has a very big tall ceiling. Could be more than 60, could be more than 60 feet high. If you
Wow.
put a menorah up high there you wouldn't be Yotzi, even though it's on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
You have a house that has a balcony and could have a stairwell of maybe 2 or 3 levels, and so it might be put it on the top level. It's more than 60 amas, 60 feet, 50 feet, 60 feet from the bottom. It wouldn't be Yotzi, even though it's on the inside. No difference on the inside or the outside.
Okay.
No yod. See, now here you go. This is.
Oh, lo yatzav, it's arich lachzor levarech, kain katuv pri hadash, vein pri megadim, masha katuv bazeh. So this is it. He's not yotze, and he has to repeat and say the lighting and say the blessing again,
Right.
as is written in the Pri Hadash, and in the Pri Megadim writes about this.
Yeah, he says, take a look at the Prima Godin. What you have to see? I have to see what is written over there. That's important. Okay, one more Mishna Berura, then we'll have to stop.
Okay, so let's see. V'nicho lamata mesrim. So he has to lower it below 10.
I mean,
Bachim.
if you would light it above and put it down below, you still wouldn't be yours.
Right. Aval im hidlaka lamata me'asarim unatala misham v'hinicha bimkom acher toch esrim yotze. Deha have hadlaka bimkoma dishnei hamikomot kesherim. Okay, so so if he lights it below 20 tfachim, and he puts it there and rests it in place.
Right. He lit it below Esri in one spot, and now he wants to move it from that spot below
the 10
Esri to another spot below Esri. That would be okay.
Oh, okay. The hachavei hadlaka bimkoma dishnei hamikomo kesherim. So that what the lighting in its place, the two places are okay, kesherim.
Yeah, but since both places are still kosher, see.
Oh, okay. Very good. Okay, we're up to Zion.
Okay.
Thank you, Rabbi. Good. Koyak,
Have
man.
a good day.
Okay, Baruch Tiyeh. Thank you, Lou. Very good.
Thank you.